I think it'll help parents get more proactive too with the youth today, because I don't see that a lot now, especially with the youth. I feel like they're being ignored. And there are some kids out there that do need the extra help, the extra attention, and so I just think that's great that you're out there doing your mentoring and helping these children with their challenges.
It actually means a lot to the children, but it means a lot to me as well, because I was one of those kids at that age and just wondering why. I mean, I fit socially, and school was a great social outlet for me. But unfortunately, in the academic function, it just wasn't a good fit for me. And I kept wondering, maybe it's my major, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that. Well, and the problem really was not having the proper accommodations.
Right, right. So what does the future hold for you as far as taking your Loves Brownies to the next level? Have you thought about sending anything to any celebrities?
Actually, I have quite a few celebrities that actually order my product line.
Which ones?
Well, I don't know that they go on.
Well, they probably don't want to be publicized.
Publicized. I'd love to put them on my website, but they're not. But in any event, I'm actually in the process of writing a book.
Okay.
It's called A Love Story.
Oh.
And it talks about how I've created a repeatable process with my bakery, and also how dyslexia was a blessing for me. In life, not all detriments, not all things that happen to you are detriments. Actually, some things that are detriments actually turn into be blessings. So it talks about that. It actually talks about how I named my company and why I've named my company a certain way.
That's wonderful.
And then my next step is I've actually branded my company after my childhood doll. Her name is Love.
Okay.
So I'm working with some toy manufacturers to manufacture love in a larger way.
Okay. So how would you foresee that, as dolls, or how would you like to see the toys get developed?
Distributed. Well, I want Love to say inspirational things.
Okay.
So unfortunately today, I don't think enough of our childhood toys, I don't think they say enough, inspirational things to our younger, like women of today.
More positive.
Positive things. So I'm working on that chip. But I also wanted to be in English and Spanish.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's not enough of that. There's not enough of that, and we need that for especially children of color, whether they're black or Latino. So I think that is very important.
Yes.
That they feel like there are toys for everyone, not just an excluded background. So
that's
I think that's great.
And it's encouraging entrepreneurship. And I think we've all have experienced entrepreneurship within the last 15 or 20 years with the rise of hip hop and clothing lines, but that's all entrepreneurship, and those are their accolades, and our accolades are different. So it's not to say that you have to do certain things in order to feel like you're an entrepreneur. Your dreams are your dreams.
Right.
So my book explains that as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. So we can see you on Oprah sometime.
Maybe, we'll see.
Right. That's interesting that you wanted to create a toy line. Is there anything else that you would like to see develop in the future?
Maybe one day I might open up a store. But I'm thinking, since I'm in my mid-30s, that probably won't happen for the next 10 years. So it's going to be a while, because the model that I have now is actually working. And I'm basing my book off this model that I've actually developed and have been working for me for the last 7 years. So we'll see what happens.
Would you like to expand and open maybe a chain of stores across the United States? Would that be something of interest to you?
Yes, a franchise definitely would be of interest, but that would actually start with my first store opening, probably obviously on the West Coast.
Yes.
And then since I have so much love and support on the East Coast in New York.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
Awesome.
The second will probably be in New York.
Okay. Now, how did you get so much love from the East Coast? How did that all...
I think the people in New York, I think they just love really rich food, and my brownies are really rich. And unlike the folks on the West Coast, they don't really care about preservatives. Just give them all the fat.
Just give them the food. Give them the plate.
Give them the stuff. So with the forage brownies here, what I found is that the folks on the West Coast, they'll order the Love Bites, because they're watching their weight or they're in shape. But the folks on the East Coast, they'll order a dozen of these and not even think that's a dozen of 4-inch brownies.
Yes.
They don't care.
Right.
Just give it to them. They just love that. So I think it's just the cultural differences from West and East Coast.
Would you ever expand more on your menu, besides making brownies, have you thought about creating anything else?
I have, and I've actually teeter-tottered back and forth. I've built my model after Ray Kroc, you know, the person that's developed McDonald's.
Yes.
The repeatable process.
Yes.
So I think what I do it best, and I'm just not going to deviate from that.
Okay.
And if I choose to expand, would bring in vendors.
You'd bring in vendors. So vendors like you'd bring in like besides chocolate brownies, maybe more cakes or cheesecakes or something like that?
It would probably be like Miss Fields cookies or something,
Okay.
because we know she owns the market in cookies. We know her cookies are great. You know, why am I going to go recreate the wheel? Just buy
Okay.
her stuff and bring it in.
Right.
I know my fooling.
Right,
So
right.
I think it just makes it easier. So I would do something like just outsource.
So outsourcing, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So is there anything you'd like to bring more to let the audience know about what else you do? Or is there a message that you would like to convey?
I would like to convey to all the entrepreneurs out there to keep working hard. I know it's really hard to make it. I've really struggled, and it's definitely very much worth it. And doing something you love, it's rewarding in itself. And money's not everything.
No, that's right.
Money
isn't everything.
It's just not everything.
So do you have any questions for me that you'd like to ask?
I'd like for you to try some brownies.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Of course, on heart napkins.
Oh, and heart napkins. So what's your largest order that you've ever received?
Largest order. I was on quite a few television shows. Of course, they were in New York. And I received an order from a television studio for 5,000 brownies.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, and they wanted them, you know, within a week.
Oh.
Yeah, so it pretty much threw up the model a little bit,
Right,
but
right.
we were able to get it out. We just
Awesome.
prioritized
Awesome.
from there, and so that actually came with, you know, just the media exposure,
Oh,
and then for people, you know, building on the media exposure.
great.
So
Great. Well, Aundrea, I really want to thank you for coming to the show and sharing with us your wonderful brownies, and I'm going to dig into one of them. And if you'd like to get in touch with Aundrea Lacy, her website is www.lovesbrownies.com. And if you'd like to place an order, what is the number?
it's 408-881-0759.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching Peninsula View, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.